This is I think it was Braverman responding to Lineker.
Well, I think it is, from a personal point of view, to hear that kind of characterisation is offensive because, as you said, my husband is Jewish. My children are therefore directly descendant from people who were murdered in gas chambers during the Holocaust. And my husband's family is very, feels very keenly the impact of the Holocaust, actually. And I, to kind of throw out those kind of flippant analogies diminishes the unspeakable tragedy that millions of people went through. And I don't think anything that is happening in the UK today can come close to what happened in the Holocaust. So I find it a lazy and unhelpful comparison to make.
Maybe it's not flippant. Maybe it is passion, like the passion you feel. They just disagree with you.
Well, I would never make those comparisons myself. And as I said, we saw it during Brexit. I was called a Nazi just for chairing the ERG or being a Brexit supporter. I think that it's
Let me be real with you. I understand what she just said. I feel for her on a personal level, but she's also causing a lot of suffering to people who are seeking refuge in the UK from sanctions, from bombings that the United Kingdom and NATO have supported. And it's not equal, it's not the same thing. But now the whole debate has become about, what did Gary Lineker say? Fine, man, forget Gary Lineker. Focus on the goddamn bill. Let's go back to the bill. Do you understand? This is why I don't think it was helpful that he made these comments, because it's not historically accurate and it doesn't really help the cause. You understand? They're going to seize on this, man, and they're going to hammer you to death with it, and no one is going to talk about the bill. It's frustrating, it's frustrating. And people like Braverman, she's looking for any way out of this crap, man. I mean, if it says it right on the tin, right? It says it on the tin. This bill is incompatible with the European Convention on Human Rights, and she does not give a shit. She wants it rammed through Parliament anyway. Props in one way. Thank you for being so direct. I appreciate the honesty. Right? I appreciate the honesty. She's being direct with us. She said, yeah, this is no respect for anyone's human rights, but I still want it. Well, if it's like that, then, screw you. It's there's a lot of hypocrisy in politics, but I think British politics, British establishment, British media is like the worst of the worst. I mean, if you had to make a scummometer, okay, that's me. I've coined this, a scummometer. The British media and political establishment would be right at the bottom, because this one goes down, not up. This meter goes down, right? Right at the bottom of the scum barrel. I mean, there is no comparison. And this is putting, I haven't even considered the colonial aspect yet, right? This is just like that. Then on top of it, oh my God. I mean, it's these are lows so low that we are transcending dimensions. God, disgusting, really. And I'm not talking about Braverman alone now. I'm talking about all of them, Labour Party included, the Blair Party included, which is like I don't think it's again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's been ever as so close to the Tories and open about it than ever before, right? Like kind of like Democrats are basically Republicans. It's the same thing, same thing, exactly the same thing in the UK. Labour Party and Tories, like two birds of a feather. This kind of stuff, this illegal migration bill, which has nothing to do with migrants and everything to do with criminalizing refugees who are incidentally escaping from UK policies. The Labour Party is going to do absolutely nothing to oppose this, and I don't need to predict this. I am giving you an accurate assessment based on everything that has happened in the last 2-3 years, where her predecessor, Priti Patel, was doing the same thing with Spy Cops Bill, Overseas Operations Bill. These are basically things that give undercover agents permission to rape. Like, this was even brought up through passage. Like, are you sure you don't want to include a clause that prevents undercover agents from raping and killing people? Like, just to have that in there. And they're like, no, fuck this. I mean, I've never seen anything so barbarous. You know, it's really. And yeah, this Labour Party just let all of that through. You know, I to be fair, I think that one Keir Starmer raised an objection for a moment, but you know, the rest of them went through quite quickly and smoothly with no opposition. So you see the situation that we're in is not very optimal or hopeful. Yeah, if you had any doubt, also the UN is basically saying that, look, most people who cross the channel are refugees. The British government is saying the same thing, but except the Home Minister doesn't want to listen to our own department. And this illegal migrant bill is also illegal under international law, and the UN have come out, the UNHCR has come out and said you can't do this. You know, it's just incompatible. But we'll see what happens, and we know what will happen. Really, you know, it's sad. But what I just said, by the way, with Labour Party here, here's Yvette Cooper doing exactly what I told you.
Lineker has weighed in on this. Do you support what Mr. Lineker has said in his tweets?
No, I don't. I think that was wrong. I think he was wrong to say that.
Because, if I can just ask you to expand.
So I just don't think you should make comparisons with the 1930s.
Fair enough.
So, look, we can have a debate about all sorts of different aspects, and people will take different views about different aspects of policies.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't have those debates, do you? You don't have them. You never do, and you let the Tories do everything they want. That's the problem, yeah?
And issues and so on, but I don't think you should make those sorts of comparisons.
Does he get a red card for that, Yvette?
I think that's a matter for the BBC.
You know, the number 10, so the Prime Minister, they've put out a statement, and they basically, I think this scandal is not going so well for them, so they've tried to distance themselves from the BBC, kind of suspending Gary Lineker, and they said that, well, this is not a matter for the Prime Minister, but, you know, it's a matter for the BBC. And it's kind of funny, honestly, right? I didn't think they expected people who the other sports hosts to just walk out, and you know, you have the BBC scrambling to fill in the programming on the radio and the TV. It's really embarrassing for them. They're complete laughingstock, you know. But again, the focus should be this piece of toilet paper that we have here, this illegal migration bill, which again has nothing to do with migrants. You know, it's pretty crazy. You know, it's I've gone through it. It's quite despicable. And like I said, they just want to round people up and get them out of the country. There's no trial, there's no process, there's nothing. And you know, I'm repeating myself here, but let this be sort of an appeal of understanding for people who are on the right, who'd say, oh, we have too many migrants coming in, this and blah blah blah. Fine, then why don't you stop creating those migrants, what you call migrants, who are refugees? Because if you look at the statistics, the majority of them are coming from countries that the United Kingdom colonized and the United Kingdom sanctioned and bombed. So you don't think there's some correlation there? Because I can guarantee you there is. And the other thing is that whether a refugee comes by boat or helicopter or private jet, or you know, they scuba dived onto the shores of Cornwall, or a fucking UFO came in and dropped them and then sped off into space, is irrelevant, because it's in the goddamn Refugee Convention that you are supposed to expect refugees coming through, say it with me all together, irregular means.